everybody should be using a flexible savings account or some sort of tax-free savings account that the government offers. So at my institution, I actually get a flexible savings account, and it's surprising how many people actually don't use it because it is free money that the government actually is giving to you. So if you don't know me, I am Professor Dave Massack. I'm an associate professor of innovation, strategy, and entrepreneurship, and I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. So for us, we've used the flexible savings account in two ways. There's one that's for dependent cares, the other one's for health care. And there's limits in terms of how much that you can contribute to it for dependent care stuff. So this is like for older folks, if you're looking after older folks or you're looking after small kids, you can claim much of the expenses for that. And what you have to do is actually file this away with some sort of service that they have. I use the one that at my institution uses called Charge Snyder. And you send your receipts to them, and then from that you actually get tax-free. You get federal tax deductions based on how much you actually contribute to that. And you get to pick the limits that you want to contribute to this savings account. And so for us, we always max it out every single time. And you have to do a fair bit of paperwork for it, and it is a hassle. But the good thing is that all of that money is taken off of your payroll before it actually goes through and gets taxed. And so this amount of money, even though it's a pain, there's a lot of work that's involved, but it's free money. Right? And that adds up time and time again. You have to think about what is your federal tax rate and think about how much money that actually is, right? So if you're getting, so we contribute $5,000 to this dependent care savings account. So and say my federal tax rate is 10%, right? So that means I'm saving $500 a year to go through all of this hassle to save money. And now you might not think that that is a lot of money, but if you do that for 10 years, that's $5,000. That is 2 really nice trips for your family. Maybe it is one giant big trip that you do. That's a lot of money that compounds over time. So the one caveat that you have to realize with these, the FSA, so Canada has one too that's very similar where you contribute $5,000. I think it's an HSA, I want to say, but I don't think that is the right terminology. But basically, you contribute some money to it, and if you don't spend it all, this is the thing I don't like, and that's a hassle. If you don't spend it all, then the government sort of takes that money away. And unfortunately, that's the way that it's set up. So you have to make sure you maximize it every year. And there's always a scramble for us to get the receipts in. But man, does it ever pay off in the long run. And that could mean a lot of things that you could do with that, right? It means that you can go on a trip. It means that you can start a business. It means that you can eat a little bit better for the given year, right? Like there's so many different things. And you forget about that. And that's where the sort of message that I want you to know with doing these kind of things is that there's all these little things that you could do and you can sort of maximize on. And the little thing for the moment doesn't really add up to a lot, right? Like it doesn't feel like a heck of a lot. But if you do many of those and you do those repeatedly for a long time, it adds up to a tremendous amount that you're actually getting. So I'd highly recommend for you to actually think about how can you get these things going? What are the little incremental things that you could do? And it requires a little bit of paperwork. So let's say you sit down once a month and you actually do the paperwork for a half a day. Well, then it's well worth it, right? Doing sort of budgeting and financial stuff is well worth it to sit down for a half a day to get those added returns to what you're looking or what you actually have, and it turns into something miraculous. Let's say you put that $500 into a retirement plan. Well, that $500 per year compounded at 10% can turn into substantial money after 30 or 40 years of doing stuff like that. Like just a ridiculous amount of money after that amount of time. And you could do the financial calculation. I don't want to give you the wrong numbers or anything, but it's, it's in the hundreds of, probably in close to like $100,000 or $200,000, like just a ridiculous amount of money. And that is after, with inflation and all that kind of stuff, even with that stuff, it still is a substantial amount of money that's well worth it that you should be doing. So I encourage you to do the FSA accounts and any other free money that's available that is actually really yours, right? At the end of the day, it's really your money to begin with. So why not maximize that and take advantage of the things that are available? All right, take care and have a wonderful day.